going to be discussing ways to improve your work by automating your work order processes. Presenting today is going to be myself. I'm JC Harvey, a sales engineer with Synovia Solutions. We also have Rakesh Tiku. He is the president of inField Clipboard. So here you can see on the slide that we have up here some of our contact information. So if you do have questions before, or I guess not before, but during or after our session today, feel free to reach out to us and we'll get your questions answered. So today we're going to be overviewing a few things. Can we get the next slide, please, Rakesh? There we go. We're going to be looking at the problem. So what's the reason why we're doing this presentation for you today? We're going to talk about the typical do-it-yourself approach, and we're going to dissect that a little bit to talk about the issues of what the typical DIY approach brings. Then we're going to present our approach, the joint solution between Synovia Solutions and inField Clipboard. We're going to look at the financial impact.
Muted.
What your investment is going to return to you. Then we're going to talk about the best ways for you to get started with us and how to contact us. So let's jump into the problem. Some of the different challenges that you might be facing. Your business growth has been slowed. There's some process that's restricting you, or you just need new ways to make money. Also, some other things that could go wrong as far as getting your workflows automated. You don't know who's saying what to who. If there's a long chain of command, details can get lost in communication between your dispatch, your field workers, your customers, the management, your mechanics. You're playing a long game of telephone, and you don't want any important information to get lost. Also, you're not making as much. You're losing money based on errors that are happening, your cash flow, and insufficient use of your field resources and any of your resources that you're using inefficiently. You're just leaving money on the table. The market, the competition, and regulatory pressures. Things are changing. The world is changing. Processes are changing. Everything is evolving, and you need to be able to keep up with all of those changes to make sure you're staying ahead of the curve. Okay, so the typical do-it-yourself approach. Well, you could do nothing. You could be happy and content, complacent with where you are, and you can expect nothing to change from that. You could add more office workers, which is a pretty typical solution. If there's more work to be done, you add more staff to get that work done. Or you could implement just anything. You can implement just any solution and a hope that it's going to resolve the issues that you're facing. The problem with that, if you do nothing, well, that's just not a good idea in any situation. Your demands are changing, your business needs are changing, so you need to be able to change your processes to keep up with the evolution of your environment. Adding more office workers, there's a certain point when you have so many office workers that you're losing money based on having more staff than the revenue that you're bringing in. There's also turnover, the training. So adding more office workers isn't always the best solution. And implementing just anything, you can put a Band-Aid over it, but solving the symptoms does not heal the overlying issue. Treating the symptoms, you're treating the symptoms when you should be treating the root cause of what's going on, which is exactly what our solution does. So our approach, so Synovia Solutions and inField Clipboard, we are partners in this industry. So inField Clipboard, it's an easy to use and flexible field service management software that enables clients to manage their field resources, your people, your assets, your vehicles, anything like that, all the way from the inquiry to the invoice, with a focus on IoT applications such as bin management, utility maintenance, telematics, and vehicle maintenance. So the combined solution of Synovia Solutions and inField Clipboard covers all of these things for you integrate with each other. All our systems talk to each other through a very simple API process. So it's easy for us to share information and for us to be partners to give you a great solution for you to use. So as far as Synovia solutions, whether your fleet is public or private, Synovia solutions can help you increase your savings, improve safety, and enhance customer service more. So whether you're looking at data analytics, we have over 200 different types of reports that you can use. So you can put, not only are we collecting your data, but we're putting that data to good use, however you would like that data to be used. We have various modules based on what your business needs are. You can pick your own package and select what you need. So you're building the solution that works the best for you. Like I mentioned, we have an open API and the ability to connect to any other API as long as we're getting that schematic from that partner. We can schedule imports and exports of your data every day, every week, every month, however you would like for that information to be transmitted. Also, we have a brand new UI that we launched this year for our website. You can use any web browser that you would like to use on it. It's HTML5 compatible. It's very easy to navigate. You can save your favorites. You can give as many users as you would like access to your environment, as well as restrict them to what capabilities they have and over which vehicles that they're allowed to see. And now I'm going to turn it over to Rakesh to talk about the automated workflow.
Again, thank you for attending our session today. Again, my name is Rakesh Tiku, if you did not hear that before. I am the president of inField Clipboard. What I'm going to talk about now is, by combining our solution, what can we deliver for a client? So here's a good example of a before and after. It's incorporating inField Clipboard's bin management workflow along with the telematics partner Synovia to provide a very holistic workflow and automated workflow. In this case, we're talking about work order management that includes let's say a construction bin. So I have a construction bin in the field, and I'd like to know when all my bins are full, and therefore enacting a pickup. So before our IoT solution that inField Synovia offers, the clients, it's a mystery. I really don't know when my bins are full, or if they're empty, or even if they're broken. The only way I know that is if I schedule predetermined routes to go pick up the bins, and then basically get to the bin and see if it's full or empty. It may be full, may have been full for 3 days, which is no good to anyone. It may be empty, which is effectively a waste of time for the field worker and everybody else involved. With an IoT solution, such as the one we're offering, it streamlines the situation so that we're only enacting a response based on real activity. The bin is full. The bin, through inField's IoT sensor, informs inField. In fact, I'll show you another slide that goes through this a little better. So the alert on the right occurs when the bin is full. The sensor there says, hey, I'm full, sends a signal via GPS to inField Clipboard. inField Clipboard could automatically batch all those requests from, let's say, 100 bins in the field. And it says, look, I have 20 drivers. What we'll do is automatically route all the pickups to the drivers available based on skill set, based on the type of vehicles, the type of pickup, location, traffic. There's up to 6 variables we could optimize the route for that pickup. Once that route is optimized, we then start to schedule it. We then dispatch it. Again, it could be all automated, or we could have a manual intervention just as a check and balance. Once it's dispatched, effectively or exactly, the drivers or field workers in the field, within their view of the application, let's say a tablet, would be able to see what are all the pickups I have today, tomorrow, next week, next month. And it's already optimized, so they know which ones to go in what order. And then they go to the field and basically empty out the bins, take a picture, prove that it's empty, attach it to the work order, If there's a maintenance issue, they do a quick maintenance check of the bin, make sure it's 100% functional. A hinge is broken. They take a picture and create a maintenance workflow as well within inField. All along, we utilize the geofencing capability of Synovia as well as the location management facilities of Synovia to generate automated timesheets, which then can be used to populate invoice and payroll. Of course, the work order, which is completed saying I picked up the bin, is also utilized. That information is utilized to invoice. We also have the ability to do a maintenance vehicle circle check or DVIR as part of the workflow. So it gives you an idea. It's an automated workflow that really work is only commenced once a bin is full, and then all the other activities required. This workflow, of course, works for other lines of business as well. Whether you're a commercial service provider, an HVAC provider, let's say, a service call comes in. I have 20 service calls that came in between last night and this morning. Again, we could optimize the routes for all those, schedule them, dispatch them. Effectively, it's the same process. If you're a school board, there's 20 requests last night of various things that have broken down in the school itself. It's the same thing. We could batch all the requests and put it through a similar workflow. That is one of the nice things that Justin did point out earlier with inField, Clipboard, and Synovia. Very easy to use, very flexible, and it allows for your unique workflow to be incorporated in how the software works. Okay. KPIs. These KPIs are configured and customizable, tailored, I guess, to specific customer needs. But in the case of our analogy here of the bin management, time travel, time to empty, maintenance resolution time, frequency of pickups, those are some of the KPIs that we're able to report against automatically within the system. Who are we targeting for this type of workflow? Anybody in the construction-related industry using rollaway bins, waste removal. We even have clients who are clothing charity companies, organizations using bins for the clothing pickup. There are several in the healthcare that have approached us. There's several in the food processing that have approached us as well. So if you have a bin, or if you have some sort of complex workflow, some level of complexity in workflow, we could certainly help. Financial impact. So we mentioned some of the problems that we gathered from speaking to our customers and contacts. This is the result of using our combined solution. So what we do is we often typically interview our customers 8 to 12 months after they've started to use inField Clipboard to say, okay, we talked about return on investment during the sales process, maybe even the delivery process. What's the real story? And this is the result. To tell you the truth, many of the results that came in were greater than we anticipated, which is a beautiful thing, of course. Just high level profitability. Imagine this, you're saving 8 hours per field worker per month on average by using inField Clipboard / Synovia, just by the improved administrative efficiency of your whole organization. So this means everybody that touches a work order, including that field worker, expect to save 8 hours per field worker. So you have 10 field workers in the field, that's 80 hours. And again, this is not my number, this is what our customers told us. A reduction in errors by 12%. We all make human errors. That's normal and acceptable to some degree, of course. What if we could reduce it by 12% and convert some of those errors to actual retained billing revenue? Interesting. 20% increase in billable hours, reduction in payroll. It's tied to the same fact that once we're more efficient, we're capturing data real time, we're communicating data in real time, we're able to improve our margins, how much we make. By incorporating or working with Synovia, we're also able to provide significant savings in your fuel, reduce and monitor idling of your vehicles, possibly save on your insurance premiums, monitor improved driver behavior, which is a big impact on the cost of a fleet, is how the drivers use the vehicles, of course, braking, harsh turning, speeding, etc. The other impact, which was interesting, very interesting, in fact, is revenue. So by using a integrated solution such as Synovia and inField Clipboard, we would anticipate our typical client, based on real client data and evidence, to be able to increase their business capacity by 40%. What does that mean? Now you have time to nurture growth in your business. You're not worried about fighting fires all the time or figure out where data is or information is. That's at your fingertips. Go run your business now. New revenue streams. Part of our role as your technology partner truly would be to maintain a level of evolution in our technology so that you could do something different in your business. Look, all our businesses get commoditized over time. That is a fact of business. By incorporating some new things that are going on, such as IoT, AI, proactive maintenance, proactive scheduling, let's start dreaming about what we can do next for our client, how we can improve both our top line, our revenue, and even our bottom line by incorporating new technology. We take that seriously. That is our role. For example, we've already started our IoT approach. We have 2 other projects for IoT in the works as well. And we've already started designing our AI, our predictive and proactive maintenance and scheduling components of inField. And this is to make your life easier. Customer experience. Ultimately, if the customer's happy, we're all happy, right? And the best way to make a customer happy is improve how we communicate. Better manage change. If change is constant, change is consistent, it always happens, we can't avoid it. So how can we manage change better, especially if change occurs in the field? In a non-infield Synovia type environment, how many people need to get involved in order to manage change in our organization today? What if it's available at your fingertips? What if you're able to do automated notifications to all the people that need to know, including the customer, when there's a change? Or even an approval or an exception of some sort, or POs generated in the field. This is managing change real time with inField and Synovia. Always be audit ready. We have several clients that are being audited by their end customers or government, depending on the situation, consistently, so every quarter, every year, whatever it may be. And for whatever reason, before having an audit-ready platform like inField, it was a scramble. It was a surprise every month, every quarter, they're getting audited. Well, what if you create a self-serve and provide a self-serve portal that your end customer could basically access and see all the work that you've ever done for them, so they only need to call you if there's a question or a concern? It certainly saves some time. Remember, your vehicle is your billboard. So things like improving and monitoring driver behavior is important. How they drive and how they manage themselves and on the road reflects your business, either positively or negatively. So keep that in mind. Driver behavior is important. It does impact your bottom line. I always say the best way to start is to start. How we work is we usually break our sales process into 2 calls at a minimum. The first call would be a discovery call. Really get to understand how you work today, how you'd like to ideally work. Review to some good degree of detail how inField and Synovia could work for you. We may do a demo at this point, depending on the time available. But really the point of the discovery call is to really understand if this is a good fit, how it's going to work, what would be required to make this work. And then we meet again, and that's where we come with a proposed solution that basically covers, we review your basic requirements, we incorporate our knowledge, and then we tailor the ideal solution for your organization. We may do also a demo at this time as well, based on the solution as we understand. And it's as simple as that. We are not a cookie cutter solution provider. That's not what we do. We recognize that each of our clients, whether you're doing the same thing, you're a school and the guy down the road is a school, you're an HVAC service provider, and your competitor is right across the street, you're both effectively servicing your clients in the same way, but how you do it is different. And we recognize that, and our solution acknowledges that, and it allows you to be flexible, and we tailor a solution that's ideal for you. Okay, that's how we work. Folks, that's the end of our presentation. On behalf of Justin and myself, I thank you. On behalf of our organizations, we'd love to work with you. If you do have any questions, feel free at this time to ask them. Otherwise, we will be following up with each of you to see how we could best service your organization. Any questions?
It looks like there is a question. I may have missed this. If discussed, what systems will the inField Clipboard work with?
So may I ask who asked that question?
That was Uriah Parker.
So in terms of systems, thank you for the question, by the way. In terms of systems, are you talking about third-party like ERP and CRM systems or accounting systems? The general rule of thumb is that if there is an API available by those systems, then yes, we could integrate with them. We already integrate with several CRMs, a few ERPs, even inventory management softwares, 3 accounting software, payroll software, and of course our friends at Synovia with telematics. We integrate with them. Other systems that we do work on iOS and or Android type devices. Synovia has a ruggedized Android device, for example, which inField works beautifully on. So I hope I answered the question. I don't know if you're able to correspond at this time. But in terms of systems, it is an open architecture, as our friend Justin pointed out earlier. We can integrate with most common systems. We can also integrate with custom systems. Many of our clients have applications that are 100% customized for them or somewhat customized for them. And as long as they're what I call current generation software, they've been built in the last 5 years or so, most likely they have the facility to work with an inField clipboard. It is a common practice for us to integrate with systems, and typically it works beautifully. Thank you for that question. I hope I answered it. If not, follow up with us later, and we could definitely get into more detail with you. Any other questions?
Yeah, he responded with, we use SAP system with our work orders for NCDPI.
Wonderful. So SAP Business One, we are actually working on that right now. We're integrating with a customer of ours for SAP Business One. We know how to do it. It's to be frank, it's not an easy feat, as you know, having dealt with SAP, but it's something we could easily manage and do it with you. So the short answer is yes. SAP is acceptable. We can work with them.
Okay, the next question is, can I use a referral system on here for student behavior?
A referral system. So if it's a web-based referral system, the ones I've seen, yes. Typically a web-based system tend to have somewhat open architecture and back-end, so we can incorporate with them. If it's a non-web-based system, we'd have to obviously explore that with you. But most of these type of referral programs are quite new. So the simple answer would be yes. But of course, let's have a discovery call and see how we could work together.
Okay, next question. What is the average cost? How do you guys charge? That's getting into...
That's getting into the crux of the matter.
Yeah.
it's a very important question. It's a very relevant question. The generic response is it depends on what we need to do to make our solution really adapt to your business requirements, how you work. So for example, if you want us to integrate with several systems, you have 10 forms, which is fine. You have some uniqueness in what you want to do. That causes some tailoring to occur on our side, which is fine. Our typical implementation is somewhere between $3,500 and $5,000 upfront. We do amortize that over 3 years, which is the term of the contract. And then there is a monthly subscription rate for both our solutions, Synovia's and inField's. And really the price varies based on your volume. So for a less than 50 user type organization, I see it depends on the configuration, but for inField, it's anywhere from $36. It is $36 a month for less than 50 users. If it's greater than 50, then discounts can occur dramatically. For Synovia, it depends on the configuration. Are we using a tablet? Is it a hardwire? Is it plug and play? Is it tablet? Is it a modem? Sorry. So for that, it varies from low 30s to just under 80, depending on what configuration you're using. So rather than avoid your question, I'm giving you a range, but really the best way to determine what your price will be is let's have a call.
Right, and it also, like Rakesh was saying, it's not a cookie cutter solution. we have a lot of different modules. So based on the package that you would want to put together for yourself, it's, the cost is going to depend on that. And it's also, we don't charge by user, we charge by vehicle. And again, there's no upfront costs if you decide to integrate or implement our solution. Everything is put together and rolled into a monthly cost. Unless you want to pay for it up front, then you would have that option as well. Next question. Can you integrate with Microsoft Access? Our billing is built on this via Summit service.
So as it so happens, we're actually associated with a company called Vertace, which is a Microsoft Cloud partner. So we can and we know how to integrate with almost anything Microsoft, frankly. Access is interesting. It's becoming an antiquated, older software platform. It's a little bit restrictive in what it allows one to do. But the nice thing with Access is typically you could export it into an XML or Excel or CSV file, which we could then utilize within inField, and we could write an automated script to actually do that work as well. So the short answer is yes. Access is a little bit long in the tooth, to be frank, but we have done it and we can do it. So again, let's have a conversation and see how we can make that work for you.
All right. It looks like, nope, there's another question. We do plumbing, pumping, septic, and pro table restrooms. Can you help?
My God, can we help?
Do you mean?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not pumping any septic tanks. That's all on you, man.
Buddy, we'll roll up our sleeves and do what we need to do. All right. So the short answer is yes. We actually started in the trade services industry, and we've evolved from there. You are our ideal client. There isn't many that aren't, frankly. The short answer is yes. I would love to have a conversation to understand exactly what are your challenges in your business, what are you looking to do in your business, where do you see your business evolving in the next months, years, to see how we could build a roadmap for you that would be ideal. But we are aware of what you do, we understand what you do, and we can provide a lot of assistance. Short answer is yes.
All right, and that is Ryan Ambler from, I just had it up, from Drain Pro in Canada.
Wonderful. We love Canadians. I'm a Canadian as well. Ryan, what I'll do is I'll make note of it and I'll reach out to you and we can determine how we can help, definitely. Justin, any other questions?
Doesn't look like it. Oh, he says my IP is based in Canada. Not a question, just a correction.
Oh, I see. That's fine. We still love you anyway. Just so you know, guys, if there are people formulating questions in their mind right now, this is the first of 7 webinars that we intend to hold. If you go on either Synovia or inField Clipboard's websites, we will be posting the full details of the series shortly. Please feel free to join us again. We enjoy that. We enjoy your company, and we look forward to the opportunity of working with you, all of you, in the near future. Again, we will be reaching out to you, just saying, "Hey, is there something that we can help you with? Is there something on your mind?" And both Justin's team and mine are more than happy and willing to be of assistance.
All right. Yep. Then there are no more questions, so I think we're good to wrap up.
All right. Wonderful. Again, appreciate your time, guys. Thank you, Justin, again. And or if I haven't thanked you yet, thank you. And have a great day, guys.
All right. Thanks, everybody.